why don't we just sit down, talk about the YouTube boxing news, starting off with Deji versus Alex Wassabi again. We're running it back. The rematch from the last episode. I wanted to do a concrete kind of evaluation of my thoughts on who's going to win this fight, in my personal opinion. So, I have said multiple times to people in private and people out there on the internet that Deji has serious boxing ability, okay? He was serving up Jake pretty well, but Jake took it more seriously than him in that fight. Let's be completely honest. Even though that Jake Paul was a clown in 2018, he took that fight very seriously to the point where he made Deji look bad. Now, Deji looked bad physically, but we saw some boxing potential in Deji, right? So then we expect him to come in fucking shredded the next time, and he doesn't. He comes in, knock off Mike Tyson, gets knocked out by a TikToker, goes and cries for a couple months, and now is fucking shredded. He is now shredded. The I Saw Deji challenge, those of us who saw him in public are now seeing him in the flesh. Deji versus Alex Wassabi. Deji's looking really good, people. Deji is looking sharp. He's also looking very confident, rolling out in a tank. There's a lot of symbolism there. And Alex Wassabi is also extremely confident as well. So whoever loses is definitely going to bite the dust and get memed hard. Probably not as bad as Tyron Woodley, because let's be honest, is anyone ever going to get memed as bad as Tyron Woodley? I mean, Tyron Woodley was a 5-time UFC champion. 3 years later, gets knocked out by a YouTuber. Like, Jake Paul is still a YouTuber. That's still always going to be his label. He's never going to be able to ditch it. He's never going to be able to ditch the Disney kid. Just like Deji is never going to be able to live down this boxing career if he never gets a win. If he doesn't get a win this time, and he loses to Alex Wassabi, he should quit. He should go back to doing video games and doing commentaries, because the thing is that Deji is a really funny person, so he doesn't need to box, but clearly he wants to. And he wants to prove to everybody that he could do it. So do I think that Deji could do it? Do I think he wins this fight? I do. Because I saw boxing potential in his last couple of fights, okay? Deji has boxing potential. And now that we've seen that he's putting in the work, he looks way better than he did in June. 6 months of training could do a lot to a man. He did the reconciliation with his brother. He fought his demons off. He realized what he needed to change about himself, and now he's back. And Alex Wassabi is the same. He's always been a cocky motherfucker. He always thinks he can beat everybody. Hits pads. Doesn't really look that great on pads. Honestly, if I see some better footage of Alex Wassabi, I'm going to give him some credit. But to be honest with you, that little trailer he did, like, I'm coming for people, I don't really think that made the best representation of his boxing skill, because he looked bad. He looked better fighting fucking FouseyTube than he did in that footage. Okay? People need to just start hitting the bag instead of posting pad footage, okay? So